Okay, we're back and we're better. Today, I wanted to explain to y'all that I believe that growing up, obviously with the absence of my father, I grew up without a father. Really, um, I didn't really have guidance on how to tackle life, and so growing up in a weird way, I was always confused on what I should do because I never really looked up to anybody. I used to look up to my brothers, yeah, for some time, but they had their own problems, and eventually, like, I was disappointed. So there was no real person whom I was trying to learn from. And, through time, I would try to take advice from people. I would try to do this, but it never felt right because I would take advice from somebody and I would do something and it would fall short. So it was more so like all my life, I was trying to find that one person or that one thing that I could look up to and live my life off. But I didn't have that. I didn't have that. And I think my father's absence was the reason for that. I'm not here to make a video blaming my pops. Life is life. But I never really grew up with him. I don't even remember the time when I was like living in the same house as him. So it was rarely at a young age where he wasn't around. But I realized that now, as I got older, now that I'm reading books, is that these books, these authors are the people that I look up to. It was a way for me to accept that my upbringing might have been rough, but now I got someone who could guide me towards life. And these books have been a wonderful thing for me. I'm able to build conversation. I'm able to think critically. I'm able to be more optimistic on certain things because now I know the ways of life. These books have told me many stories, have showed me many things, have given me enough information for me to be satisfied on being confident with myself. They gave me the confidence, they gave me the courage to tackle whatever it is in front of me. So that isn't the reason why I started reading books. I honestly was just curious about the world and just curious on trying to learn more about myself. That's why I started reading. But over time, I realized it was my subconscious just telling me that I needed somebody to guide me. And the books were the people that were guiding me. The authors, my fault. It's been good. I've been reading for like over probably a year now, but I would say now is like I'm reading the most I've ever read. I'm reading more consistently, more frequently. That's what I wanted to say. And it's been good. I've been learning a lot. I write in my journal too to respond to questions that I have for the authors, to make it seem like I'm talking to them, because I think that's what indulges me in reading more often. I feel like the author is speaking to me in a way where I could try to interpret what he says and ask questions, and I try to find a solution as to why he thought that way or as to why I came up with a question like that. And I think with books, the intent of books is to put the reader in a room with the author to have a conversation with. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things ever. That's why I look up to these books. They've been teaching me a lot of things, as well as YouTube videos, these motivational videos. At first, that's what it started as. I didn't have no one to look up to, and so I resorted to these videos. The Joe Rogans, the Jordan Petersons, the David Goggins, the John Cena's, the Rocks, even my favorite rappers, 50 Cent, J. Cole, Drake, Jay-Z, like Nas, many people. I could go on and on and on. I used to look up to a lot of these people because they were filling in that spot that I didn't have, and that was the presence of my father. A lot of people take for granted their father's presence. They're unaware because they have it. They have that hole filled in, and I was unconscious of it before growing up. I didn't really think nothing of it, but now that I'm seeing, it's like, wow, I was fucked up because I didn't have that guidance. And I'm glad now that I'm able to be aware of why things happen the way they happen. But it's a process. I'm still learning. I'm still going through things that it's teaching me, and I'm learning to be more patient with myself because of it. because now I know why I was the way that I was. And that's what growth is, you know, being able to change, being able to go back to your past and accept what has happened to you and try to understand yourself as to why you are the way that you are. And you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. It may seem like it sucks, sometimes it does. You know, I go through shit that I tend to isolate myself a lot for the reason being, but I start to learn more about myself, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I used to look up to a lot of these people, and to a degree I still do, but mostly these authors now, because the authors was really teaching me how to live life. And now I'm more satisfied with certain situations. I'm grateful for the position I'm in right now, and so I'm starting to learn more. You know, I would say I actually enjoy learning now. You know, when I was in school, I didn't care because I didn't find it interesting, and also there were other factors that played into that. I never used to get my full 8 hours of sleep. I used to always be on the game. Every time my intentions at school was to just laugh and have fun and speak to everybody, but I didn't really care. So now it's like, now that I'm isolated, now that I know what I want to a degree, I know that I want to learn more. I know that I'm starting to understand that knowledge is really power. Being curious, asking questions is really what gets you to understand yourself more. So that's the main goal for me, just trying to understand why I am the way that I am and trying to grow off of that. And the books that were leading me is what's leading me to success. You know, I understanding that I gotta enjoy the journey, I gotta enjoy the process, I gotta be patient with myself, I gotta be willing to change, I gotta be willing to make sacrifices so I can be that person I always wanted to be. And that's that man in the mirror. You know, I feel like we all have a sense of who we want to be, but we're always afraid to tackle or to make mistakes or to dive into that process on trying to be that person. You know, man is defined by his actions, not his words. So I also realized that I gotta make moves. I can't preach without practicing, you know. So it's a process. And I keep going back to the books, that these books are a reminder to understand that life ain't easy. It's all a process. It's patience. And you know, if you believe in yourself and you also optimistic, things will come to you. You know, that's the beauty of life, you know, the spontaneity of it, and just being able to laugh it off at the end of the day, because I think humor as well too, like it's all part of it. You know, being able to laugh at your situation, being able to be okay with it is what makes you propel to be more successful. You know what I'm trying to say? Allowing change, accepting who you are, accepting your flaws, accepting your mistakes. That's what gives you the power to learn more about yourself and understand that life ain't easy. Life is weird. We don't know what life is offering us. You know, all we know is that what we want in life is to try to be better. And that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to be better. Damn, I wish I could find the page. It's one of the first pages in The Shortness of Life by Seneca. This book right here. That he explains that. Hold on. All right. So right here he says, we are in the habit of saying that it was not in our power to choose the parents who were allotted to us, that they were given to us by chance, but we can choose whose children we would like to be. There are households of the noblest intellects. Choose the one into which you wish to be adopted, and you will inherit not only their name, but their property too. So yeah, we didn't choose our parents, we didn't choose our life, we didn't choose this upbringing. But now that we're more aware, we can choose who we want to be a part of. And so the books is what I decided to make my parents, my imaginary parents, you would say. So I could look up to them so they could give me the guidance to be who I want to be, or to allow me to evolve, to allow me to make these mistakes and understand that I will be better next time. So, man, life is hard, but if you have that awareness, is like, man, you can make it more beautiful than what it is. People are unaware of that, and I wish more people indulged in more books and more reading, because I think with technology now, all these distractions, our life is so our minds is so linear, it's one-sided, is we have a lot of tunnel vision, and we lost the art of really thinking critically, of expanding our horizon in our thought process, and just really allowing ourselves to ask questions, you know. So don't resort to what you see only on the internet. Expand your mindset. Be curious about the world, and you will understand yourself more. That's why I came to realize why I am the way that I am, and now I'm starting to better myself, because now I see the root of all the problems that I was suffering through. You know, so it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Don't ever let yourself go. Don't ever allow distractions to consume you, because we are all powerful in our own ways. We all have a story to tell. And just being who you want to be, and being able to look at that mirror and see yourself, see your own soul through those eyes of yours, will tell you the truth that needs to be heard. Yeah, just be yourself, man. Find that person who you could look up to. Find that thing that you could look up to, so to teach you how to live your life, you know. And don't be afraid to experience things, man. You will fail, you will succeed, you know. Things will happen, but that's all a part of your story, bro. Don't ever lose yourself in the moments of suffering, because the suffering is only gonna make the story better if you allow it to be. We are all beautiful. Stay beautiful and allow yourself to change for the better. That'll be easy.